My name is Christian Guerrero,
Uh-huh.
and I'm from Mexico City also. I've been living in Mexico City and Oaxaca.
Okay, and now you live here in the United States?
No, I'm coming from Oaxaca, Mexico.
Okay.
I have folks that live in Arizona. My family is in Arizona, and I'm an immigrant from Ecuador.
Wow, that's a story. That's a big story. So how did you come to the United States?
I was invited up to the forum through our group, which is called Rising Tide North America. In Spanish is Marea Creciente Mexico. It's a climate change group, and we work for climate justice and different issues.
Okay, in Mexico?
In Mexico, our network is in Sonora, Puebla, Oaxaca, Mexico City, and Mérida. And this year we're working towards the People's Climate Dialogue, which is the campaign for this year, working towards the Conference of the Parties, the 16th Conference of the Parties that's going to be in Cancun at the end of the year. What happened in Copenhagen, the 15th Conference of the Party, we're doing again in Cancun. So we're doing mobilizations, actions, we're creating spaces and events, basically trying to get the word out that the Conference of the Party is going to happen in Cancun, but basically to develop a dialogue at the community level to get the issue out there. Climate change, you know, what is the Conference of the Parties and why those negotiations are important to us, and maybe what can we do at the community level to have an effect in those negotiations.
So you should be in the Gulf of Mexico, actually.
Yeah, I should be almost in the Yucatan area.
Communities that are living there and have big problems.
That's correct. We're working there. We have a large network of different groups that are involved, but I came up particularly to Detroit because our network is also North American. We have contacts in the States and in Canada, and what we'd want to do is get the word out here in Detroit that people are welcome to come down and participate in the mobilizations in Cancun, but also help us out, support us from the community levels, from the different resistances, the different struggles that are happening here in the United States and in Canada. Are also problems that we're facing in Mexico, and basically.
Are you offering something in Detroit, like a workshop or something, or what is your?
No, not a particular workshop. I came late into the organization, so basically we're doing improvised presentations wherever we're invited to go, and we're able to speak about our issue. Then we'll basically do that invitation, get the word out, and do the networking that basically, I think that's what Detroit is about, meeting people, networking with them, and creating a stronger movement.
Okay. And is there something specific that you expect from Detroit, like a special connection to a special place or something, or is it in general?
I think there's a lot of grassroots movements, particularly campesino and indigenous movements here in the United States that we feel more identified with, and so we think that they are frontline issues, communities that are directly impacted by the oil industry, the coal industry, the gas industry, and we would like to have their voices heard most in Mexico, and so that's what we're trying to do specifically. That's what I hope to find in Detroit.
Do you see, because there are a lot of people going to Detroit about the... Yeah, you want to have my questions also? I usually cut them out when I edit the interviews. So in Detroit there will also be a lot of people talking about the crisis and the working situation. So does the working situation also affect the projects that you are doing?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's actually helping to make people understand that the climate crisis is also the financial crisis. It's also the environmental crisis, and the war. It's directly related to militarism and the war. And so I think what's happening here, the economic stress in this country, is just a symptom, another symptom of what the world's going through in general. The rest of the world is also feeling the economic crisis, and I'm also from Arizona, and so we know that a lot of people are actually going back to their home countries because they're either being kicked out or because there's no more jobs in Arizona, in the Southwest, informal work or formal work, and so people are needing to leave, needing to find other opportunities, and they're not finding it here in the U.S. So I think what we're trying to do is stimulate this this hope and this inspiration that there is work and there is economic sustainability in our home countries in Latin America, and that we don't really need to forfeit our cultures and forfeit what we have at home, our families, our communities, to come up and become indentured servants, or become migrant workers or informal workers. We can pull together, and we need to pull together if we want to get out of this problem financially and environmentally.
So if there's only one place in the world that you could choose to live, what would it be and why?
I would like to go back to my home country, to Ecuador, because I believe that's the place where I need to be. It's my life's goal, and I think we are in a process in Ecuador, like in Bolivia and in Mexico, where not just indigenous rights, but community rights are struggling, and we are pushing beyond a lot of the limits that politically that have always held us down. And so we have an incredible experience happening politically. We have a new constitution, we have leftist progressive presidents, and we're starting to see that we can pressure our governments into getting what we want. And this means a new sustainable future. This means a radical different relationship with each other. The production and consumption systems, we're changing it all. And I think I would like to be there to be part of that.
Okay. You have a family?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have children?
Yeah.
And where are your children growing up?
In Mexico right now.
In Mexico?
Yeah.
In Distrito Federal?
In Oaxaca.
In Oaxaca.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you think your children want to live in Oaxaca? It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yes, they do. I mean, we're happy in Oaxaca right now. My family has been really supportive. We've lived here in the United States, we've lived in Ecuador, we've lived in Venezuela, and we're a little bit of a mix of everything. And I think that's been one of the greater things that I've been able to offer, is a bridge between different countries, different stories, different communities that are all working more or less towards the same goal, but we seemed a little bit detached, we seemed a little bit isolated from each other, and I think our story, my family's story, and my personal story has been to try to bridge those differences. Tell those stories and make those connections and see that we're not that different at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to add something?
No, pues I really hope that everybody here in the United States comes together, because I think this is our time to do it. I think there's so many pressing issues that we need to get together on, and there's no more time to wait. And so I hope that Detroit is that for us. I think it's a time for us to consolidate our powers. The power of the people is something far greater than I think that we give granted to, that we give credit to. And so I think that's what we should be concentrating on.
Okay.
I hope find that out. Okay.